Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be chatting about new beauty launches for the month of November. As always, there's lots of stuff for us to talk about. We'll probably be here for at least half an hour, so plan on getting comfortable because we're going to be together for a while. Side note, if you are digging my eye makeup currently, I actually did just film a tutorial on this look. I attempted to dupe the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette, so I'm not sure if the video I filmed all about that is going to be going up before or after this one, but I'm sure it will be coming your way very soon. Anyway, we've got plenty to talk about today, so without me rambling on anymore, let's get into it. So first things first, I feel like one of the only people left on the face of the planet that has not talked about Tati Beauty yet. So in case you missed all the hype, Tati, who used to be Glam Life Guru here on YouTube and who recently just had tons of drama with James Charles and Jeffree Star and that whole shebang, she finally launched a makeup line. She already had an existing line of supplements. I was kind of a little bit confused that she didn't expand Halo to also include makeup, but I guess maybe she wants to keep them as separate brands. I mean, I suppose that makes sense. They are very different types of products, but I guess I kind of assumed initially when she launched Halo that it would just expand into other things. But no, it looks like her makeup line is going to be called Tati Beauty, and it's going to be a whole separate deal. So her first product in her new makeup line is an eyeshadow palette. It's called Textured Neutrals, and it's volume 1, so presumably there will be many more volumes to come. And everyone and their mom has been saying nothing but amazing things about this palette. I know she did send out quite a few in PR to a lot of people that I watch, and also some people I think are starting to receive their palettes that have purchased them as well. It sold out, honestly, within like 24 hours of it launching. And I think she said they ordered 100,000 units, so that means 100,000 people plus everyone on PR bought this palette, which is a pretty sizable number for a initial launch. Now, I was not one of the 100,000 people that bought this palette, and at this point I know it's sold out. I don't know when they're restocking. I honestly haven't checked because I'm not planning on picking it up anytime soon. Now, I do enjoy Tati's channel. I have been watching it for years and years and years, so there is a part of me that would like to support her. At the same time, I feel like I need to make smart choices for my own budget, and the palette is, I think, $48 or $49, plus you do also have to pay for shipping, so I know the total cost would be over $50 for me, and honestly, I don't know that I feel in love with it enough to want to spend that much money on it right now. I do definitely applaud her for the creativity in coming up with the layout and concept for the palette. So if you don't know, she basically named each of the columns of shadows. So each column has a color kind of theme to it, and then she has rows going across that all share the same texture. So she has a glitter row, she has a metallic row, she has what she calls a sequin row, which is sort of like a matte shadow with a shimmer running through it, and then she has a matte row. And I think that as far as the cohesion of the palette as a whole, it's definitely something you can create a lot of looks with. The tones are neutral-ish in my opinion. They definitely are more what I would call trendy neutrals based on what is popular right now. You have some more warm tones, you have some that lean a little more pinky purple, some that lean a little more blue-gray. So it's not just a million shades of brown, basically. It's a little more interesting than that, while still being, I feel like, accessible to a lot of people. So I guess all in all, I feel like it was a very smart launch. It obviously was a very successful launch, and I feel like the brand as a whole is probably gonna do very well. I think Tati knows makeup, and I don't think that she would launch anything less than a perfect product. And from, what I've heard so far in the beauty sphere, people seem to be really, really impressed with it. So honestly, for me, it's one of those things where it's just like, I would like to have that palette. I just don't know that I need it this second. I didn't feel so enticed by it that I was like, oh my goodness, I need to jump on that right now. I'm kind of in this place of it's probably going to be a permanent part of her makeup line. I can get it whenever I want to once it restocks, and there are 800 million reviews out there right now. I don't feel like I need to buy it to review it for my channel. I feel like if I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna buy it because I want it for my own personal makeup collection. So hopefully that makes sense. I feel like that is one of the unique things about having a YouTube channel, is that you have to make educated purchasing decisions based on not only what you like and what you want, but also what you think is going to be beneficial for your channel, because everything is both a fun purchase and like a business investment at the same time. So I do definitely wish Tati all the best with her new brand. I am excited to see what her future launches will be. I think at some point in the future I probably will pick this up, and I would love to hear if you guys did receive the palette, what you thought of it, what you thought of shipping, packaging, the whole experience. Definitely tell me all about your thoughts in the comments down below. Now moving along, but staying on the topic of eyeshadows, ABH has yet another round of launches for us to talk about. But this time, surprisingly, I actually am a little bit interested in one of them. So first of all, we finally got like the full deal, the full tea with Norvina and all of these pro palette launches that have happened in the last 2 months. If you watch a lot of beauty YouTube videos, you're probably well aware that the community as a whole has been a little like flustered by how many palettes ABH has launched this year, because they were for the longest time one of the good brands, if you will, as far as pacing their launches. They really seemed to take their time. They didn't launch too many palettes, so each time you got one, you could really have time to enjoy it and use it before they launched something else. And then all of a sudden this year it was just like palette palooza, and everybody was like, guys, it's too much. So Norvina revealed that the reason they decided to do this was because Sephora offered the brand essentially a global end cap. So if you're in a Sephora store, on the ends of their like rows of displays, they have end caps, and so they basically were going to offer them a full customized ABH end cap, but they needed enough products to fill it, so they basically asked them to rush launch a bunch of stuff they were working on and were planning on launching over the course of like an entire year, maybe in like 2020. She also explained that Norvina is meant to be like a separate line underneath the ABH umbrella. So the pro palettes that she launched are Norvina palettes. They're not ABH palettes, even though they say ABH on them, which is a little confusing. I feel like I understand it. It makes sense. I just kind of wish that that was clarified from the onset, or it was marketed separate from ABH, because I feel like that might have alleviated some of the frustration. Either way, they have now added 2 more mini palettes onto the Norvina Pro line. So they have a mini palette volume 1 and a mini palette volume 2, both of which look like condensed versions, obviously, of the bigger pro palettes. Now, I mentioned in last month's New in Beauty video that I was not planning on picking up any of the ABH pro palettes. They are $60 a piece, which is a lot of money. There are a lot of shades in them, and honestly, none of them called to me enough to be even remotely worth that kind of investment. However, I will say the look of the mini volume 2 palette definitely does catch my eye. It has this very almost like 70s feel to me. The tones in it seem like a slightly more vibrant version of what was in Subculture, actually, but possibly maybe they've learned something from that launch and the formula in this would be better. So knowing that I never even touched Subculture, I don't own it, I've never owned it, this I kind of feel like is slightly more appealing to me. I feel like the colors in this are a little bit more unique. You have some fun green and orange and yellow tones. Like, it seems like a fun little palette, and it's $29, which is half as much basically as the other palette, although you are getting significantly less product. Now I'm looking at the Sephora website as we speak, and right now this only has 4 stars. It seems like people are complaining about it staining. Someone else says the shadows are very dry, they don't have great pigment. So I honestly have no idea if the performance on these little mini palettes is good at all. I've heard good things about the bigger pro palettes. I just wasn't interested in the color stories of any of them enough, again, to justify the price. So I'm curious to see what people end up saying about these mini palettes. I haven't seen any reviews. I haven't seen anybody use them yet. So if you've tried them, definitely let me know what you think. The volume 1 is less interesting to me. That one is pink and purple, and while pink and purple are two of my favorite colors, these are like the versions of pink and purple that I like the least, the like really, really vibrant, like in your face versions of pink and purple, so that is one I think I would pass on. Now, funny enough, there is yet another eyeshadow palette that I feel like is channeling kind of similar vibes to this ABH one, but that has me even more intrigued, and honestly, maybe part of it is just the packaging. Like, this whole launch looks absolutely incredible. It's like a feast for your eyes with color, and I feel like that is definitely suckering me in. And that, of course, is the new Amor Eterno collection from Melt Cosmetics. This is their holiday collection. They're launching 2 eyeshadow palettes, a highlighter, 3 liquid lipsticks, 4 different gel pot eyeliners, and then a bunch of different brushes. Now, almost a year ago, I did a video talking about 9 brands that I wanted to try in 2019, and at this point, I've almost tried all of them. One of the few remaining is Melt Cosmetics, and I've been waiting for them to launch something that really called to me, because they are a little bit on the pricey side, and so I feel like I don't want to just buy something to buy it, to try something from the brand. I really want to get something I think I'm going to use and love. And I gotta say, this collection of everything probably has me the most interested. First of all, the aesthetic on everything in this collection is insane. It is so freaking beautiful. I cannot. It's kind of like Day of the Dead inspired with skulls and flowers, and it's just really artistic and like both a little kind of goth and artsy, but also kind of feminine and pretty. It's like this weird juxtaposition of different things that I find to be really cool. And the PR box, oh my god, don't even get me started. It is out of this world. Like, whoever is getting that PR box, I am very jealous of you, because I know it's definitely not going to be me. I've never used Melt, so they have literally no idea that I even exist. But let me tell you, it is absolutely stunning. Just the detail on it is crazy. And you can apparently purchase it for $295, but I don't think I will be doing that. Of everything in the collection, unsurprisingly, the thing that I'm most intrigued by are the eyeshadow palettes. There are 2 of them, which I think is kind of a cool concept, and basically the way that they work, like in the PR box you can see it, each palette is half of a skull, so when you put them next to each other, they create a complete skull, and I feel like the color stories in the 2 palettes are really cool and complementary. So like each palette on its own definitely has its own unique theme, but put together they're just this really vibrant, colorful rainbow, but like not rainbow situation going on. It's really, really cool and definitely very eye-catching. Now, that being said, I feel like part of my issue is that I kind of like the way these palettes look together more than I like either of these palettes individually. So I don't know which one I would purchase if I had to pick one, because I don't think I would buy both of them. Each palette retails for $58. So to get them together, that's $116. It's a lot of money on eyeshadow. I think that I would probably lean more towards the Vida palette, which has green, yellow, red, and orange tones in it. The Muerte palette I feel like is way more unique, but honestly is something I probably would never get use out of, because that one is more blue, aqua, and like burgundy red. Really, really cool tones, but very, very vampy and dark, and I just don't see myself reaching for that on a regular basis. So I don't really know what to do. The Vida palette I feel like is definitely more dupeable, because I have tons of warm tones in my collection, and even the green tones that are in there I probably could find in something else. But I also really, really want to try the Melt formula, and I feel like this is just a really unique, beautiful palette, so I don't know. I'm very torn. They haven't launched yet. We're still waiting, so right now I still have plenty of time to make up my mind. I'm also assuming that they'll probably come to Sephora at some point, so I probably would order it from there as opposed to ordering it from the Melt website. But I don't know. We'll see. I definitely feel torn about that one. And then as far as the rest of the collection, like the lip products, none of them really speak to me. The eyeliners, I feel like they're cool, but again, something that I feel like you could easily dupe with ColourPop. I don't really want to spend $19 on a cream gel liner. It's probably not worth it to me. The brushes, however, look absolutely stunning. Now, I need a brush like I need a hole in the head, and I know that, but these just look exquisite. The detailing on them is so beautiful. They have this kind of like filigree situation on the handles, and then they have some really beautiful cuts to the brushes and white bristles that honestly probably will stain really badly, but alas. So that is something that also is very tempting to me. Individually, the brushes are quite expensive. The cheapest one is $12, the most expensive is $25, but it looks like you can buy them in a bundle with a little bag for $80, which is a $112 value. Save a few bucks. Still, $80 for a brush set is like, it's a little bit painful. Now, honestly, brushes will last a very long time. Makeup will expire, so it might be more worth it to get the brushes than the eyeshadow palette. So yeah, those are my feelings on the Amor Eterno collection from Melt. It's definitely causing me the most internal conflict, definitely making me question my makeup budget more than anything else this holiday season. So yeah, I really don't know what I'm gonna do. It's very tempting. I feel like artistically they did a fantastic job with this. It's absolutely stunning. I don't know. It's expensive, and your girl can't buy as much as she would like to. So let's talk about something that's presumably a little more budget friendly that I'm also super excited about. Lights Lacquer is almost back. I think it's gonna launch tomorrow, Thursday, if I'm remembering correctly. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait. I loved KO Polish so much, honestly. Best nail polish formula I have ever used, and I was so sad that Kathleen had to leave the brand. Like, the whole thing, honestly, is just sad what happened. Like, I feel really bad for her that she was ever put into that situation in the first place. If you don't know, Kathleen had launched KL Polish with some kind of a business partner, and essentially over time they were giving her less and less control over decisions being made with the business. She was really unhappy with the direction they were taking certain things, and you know, Kathleen is one of those people. She's the real deal. She cares so much about her subscribers and her channel. You really can just tell. So I think she was sort of feeling like KL Polish was being taken in a direction where the customer was not the priority anymore, and that really bothered her. So she made the decision to leave her own brand and start over from scratch, which honestly probably had to be the worst. But Lights Lacquer, her new nail polish line, is finally almost here, and I cannot wait to see the whole thing. She's been teasing some pictures on their Instagram. There's like a gold metallic shade that looks absolutely delicious. That is something that I feel like I could totally see myself adding to my collection. And it seems like she's keeping the same brush design that she had with KL Polish, which I'm so excited about because I love that. I have pretty wide nail beds, so those little skinny like Essie nail polish brushes do not cut it for me. They end up making my polish go on so streaky, whereas the KL Polish one, it has a nice curve to it, so you can honestly like cover your entire nail in like 2 swipes. It's magical. So I just want to wish Kathleen the best, wish her congratulations. I'm really excited for the launch. I cannot wait to see what the polishes are gonna look like, and I'm sure in future new and beauty videos I will be reporting back more about the specific colors that I want to get. Another new launch that I am very tempted to buy is the new Nabla Skin Glazing Highlight. You guys know how I feel about Nabla. I've got like a special place in my Italian-American soul for them. So they just recently launched a collection of highlights that look incredible. I saw Mel Thompson do a review on them, and they just looked so wet and reflective and beautiful. Like, the formula of them is not super thick and chunky and metallic, but rather a very soft, thin kind of formula that just melts into your makeup and gives you just this juicy glow. Oh, they are just so pretty. And price point wise, they're honestly not that crazy. They're $24 a piece, which is still a lot for a single makeup product, but when you consider how much like a Becca highlight is, it's really not that bad. And they also did just bring the product to Ulta stores finally, which I'm super excited about because that means the next time I do a haul with my points, I can get one. Now at this moment, almost every single shade is already sold out on the Ulta website, so I'm gonna have to wait to get this. Either way, I'm still racking up my points. I like to wait until I have 2,000 so then I can redeem for $125. It's like the best day ever. So it may be a little while before I add one of these skin glazing highlights to my collection, but I think if I was going to pick one up, I probably would get the shade Amnesia, I'm thinking. The shade Truth also looks pretty, which is described as a peachy rose. I would use that more as a blush topper, but I think Amnesia is what I would be able to use as a true highlight. It's described as a golden champagne, and it just looks incredible. Speaking of Ulta, something I wanted to let you guys know about that I discovered while I was perusing the website the other day. Beauty Bakerie has these really adorable kits for the holiday season. They're called well, they each have a different name, but they have the Tri-Berry Crumble set, they have the Karak Chai set. Essentially, they come with 5 of their Cake Pop mini lippies, as well as a full size of their liquid eyeliner for $38, which really isn't a bad price. It's a $68 value, so I feel like you're definitely getting some bang for your buck there. And honestly, I personally feel like a little bit duped because I did pick up one of those Cake Pop mini lippies, I think back over the summertime, again when I was redeeming some Ulta points, and I swear on my life I paid $14 for that mini lipstick, and now they're only $10 on the Ulta website, so I feel like I got ripped off a little bit there. And honestly, even $10 is kind of a lot to spend on one of these lipsticks. I'll show you what they look like. So they are truly mini lipsticks. They're like itty bitty. Now, the packaging is the cutest thing I've ever seen. It's got like little cake pops on it and with gold foil, dots. It's super, super cute. But this to me is like a 100-point perk from Sephora. This is all the lipstick that you get for $10. Like, it's not enough. Like, granted, yes, it takes a long time to finish a lip product, so I don't have a problem with having a small amount. I just feel like this is something I would price more at maybe like $6 instead of $10. That being said, these little gift sets definitely make the cost per each lipstick way more reasonable. The eyeliner by itself normally retails for $18. So if you think about it that way, you're getting 5 lipsticks for $20 then, and that's only $4 a lipstick. For me personally, I probably would opt for the Karak Chai set because everything in that is a little bit more neutral. The Funfetti one I also think looks really pretty, but that one does contain Cinnamon Churro, which is the one shade I already have, so that makes that set a little bit less appealing to me. But yeah, I just thought these were super cute, and I thought you guys might want to know about them, because whether or not you wanted to try them for yourself, maybe it would be a nice self-gifting gift to give, or I feel like it's the kind of thing that would be really handy to break apart and to put into other gifts. Like, let's say you wanted to do a bunch of smaller gifts for coworkers or, teacher, hairdresser, etc. You could get one of these sets and then break up all the little mini lipsticks, maybe keep the eyeliner for yourself, and then that way, each lipstick itself, like I said, you're only spending essentially $4 on, which is a pretty good deal. And then finally, let's round things out by talking about ColourPop. You can't have a new and beauty video without talking about ColourPop. So in a recent Getting Ready With Me video, I used some of the products from ColourPop's new Bye Bye Birdie collection. Of course, your girl could not resist a birdie collection. If you missed that video, I'll link it up here in the cards. And I honestly have been really happy with the products that I picked up from that collection, especially the blush and highlight sticks. Oh my goodness, so stunning. That Hen Party blush is like one of my absolute new favorites. It's so easy to blend out and so beautiful on the cheeks. It's just like perfection. So with that being said, when I saw that ColourPop launched like more bird themed stuff for Ulta, I decided to pass over that because I still feel pretty good with the things I picked up from Bye Bye Birdie. I don't really feel like I need to go out and get more blush sticks and more eyeshadow palettes right now. And honestly, I think I like the ones from the Bye Bye Birdie collection more than I like the palettes from this Ulta exclusive collection. These are 9-pan palettes where the Bye Bye Birdie one is a 12-pan palette, and honestly, I just don't feel really inspired by any of the color stories in these 9-pan palettes. You have one that's called Lovebird that's a little more pink toned, you have one that's called Night Owl that's a little bit more yellow toned, and one that's called Birds of Paradise that's a little bit more orange. To me, these 3 palettes look very similar to other palettes ColourPop has launched in the past. Palettes that I don't even necessarily have, but palettes that I skipped for a reason. So I don't think I'm going to be getting any of these. And then again, it looks like they also did launch maybe some cheek products along with those eyeshadow palettes, but I'm pretty good with the one that I have. Especially, you know, cream products don't last forever, and I feel like it's not the best idea to load up and buy a bunch of them because you're never going to go through them before they expire. So I'm just going to use my Hen Party blush, be happy with that, and pass over these guys. I am, however, a little bit more intrigued by their new Pretty Fresh concealer line. I wasn't really interested in the moisturizer because I have super oily skin, and that seemed to be a product that was really designed more for people with dry skin. It's a very sheer coverage BB cream type product, and it just didn't seem like it was going to be quite right for my skin. However, my under eyes are definitely starting to show that I am not a spring chicken anymore, so I feel like things that are a little bit more hydrating in the under eye area is flattering for someone that's got some fine lines. So I definitely am pretty curious to try this formula out and see what I think of it. I have kind of tried the no filter concealer before, but I almost don't count it because the shade that I ordered was way too light for me, so I feel like I couldn't really fairly judge the formula because it just did not look right on my skin regardless. So this time around, I think I will try to do a better job of shade matching myself if I do end up ordering the Pretty Fresh concealer, so that way that doesn't happen again. Now, considering that I just placed a ColourPop order to get those Bye Bye Birdie products, I'm not really eager to order this guy from their website, you know, anytime soon. If it comes to Ulta, that would be great. Then maybe when I redeem some points, I can throw it into my cart. But otherwise, I'm in no rush to pick this up, essentially. I have plenty of concealer I need to finish up. I've got like 3 I'm trying to pan right now, so I probably should focus on that. And then the next time I'm in the mood to purchase a concealer, I think this is the one I would like to try. Alright guys, so I think that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed hearing my thoughts on all of these new beauty launches. If you've tried any of these products, definitely leave a comment. Let us know all the tea. Are they good? Are they bad? Are they worth your money? Should we skip over them? Tell us all about it. And I'd also love to know if any of these things have also piqued your interest, or if there are other new beauty launches this month that I didn't mention that you've been considering picking up. As always, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you like chatting about new beauty launches, I hope you will consider giving this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate your support so much. And if you're new, I hope you'll consider subscribing so that way I will show up in your subscription feed and we can hang out again in the future. On that note, I'm sure I've probably taken up plenty of your time, so I think I'm gonna let you guys go, but I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.